everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 3,000 point battle. It was a local tournament I was running on December 14th. This is game 2. If you watch game 1, you already know I'm sitting pretty, actually. I think I am in first place at this point. Well, it's a 3-game tournament, and I can't win anything except for bragging rights. But Lord Tremendous, that's me, of the Warriors of Chaos, versus Prince 9 Lives, also of the Warriors of Chaos. That's right, my second opponent was a Warriors of Chaos player. There was actually 3 Warriors of Chaos player, a High Elf, a Dark Elf, and an Ogre player. There was only like 6 people in the tournament. It's just a local tournament. And during the holidays, we always have trouble getting people coming out because it's the holidays. So the fact that we got 6 was enough, and it was fun. Holiday scenario 2 was mistletoe after deployment, but before rolling to see who goes first, each player rolls a d6 and totals a result. Split the result in half, rolling off for any odds. That's how many mistletoe counters you have. You may use a counter at the beginning of any phase, but only one per phase. So at the beginning of the combat, movement, shooting, or magic phase, you can use a counter. And if you use a counter, you declare, hey, alright, hey opponent, I'm going to use a mistletoe counter. And I'm going to use it on my unit of Plua, or my lord, or my character. It's either a unit or a character. There is no the unit with the character in it crap. It's one or the other. And then you roll a d6. On a 3-up, that unit or character heals d6 plus 1 wounds. So if your unit of 10 knights died, if your unit of 10 knights lost 8, and you say, hey, I'm going to use mistletoe counter on my knight unit, and you roll a d6 and it's a 3, and then you're like, cool, so it heals them. You roll a d6, you roll a 6, 7 of the knights come back. So, awesome. However, mistletoe, believe it or not, is poisonous, extremely poisonous. So on a 1 or a 2, you've used too much mistletoe, and the character or unit takes d6 plus 1 wounds with no saves of any kind allowed. Can't bring a unit or character past the starting sizes or wounds, so if your unit start off at 10, the max you can have in there is 10. If your character has 3 wounds, the max you can give him is 3 wounds, period. Anything excess are lost. And if you have a character inside a unit of infantry, and you only need 2 more infantry brought back. You roll like 4 wounds coming back. The infantry goes up to the 2, and the other 2 wounds are lost. They do not apply to the character, even though he's in a unit. Each mistletoe counter you have at the end of the game equals 1 battle point. So if you choose not to use them, you can use them towards your end score at the end. Extra credit is killing a unit champion, killing a monster, or a war machine. Each one you kill grants you another 1 battle point. Here is my list, same as from round 1, because changing it would be cheating. My Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous, with the Mark of Tzeentch, Chaos Armor, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin, Unholy Strike, and Flaming Breath, because he doesn't believe in Tic Tacs. My Sorcerer Lord, the Jade Mage, who's a level 4 wizard with a Dragon Helm, Skull of Catan, Seed of Rebirth, Healing Potion, and Lore Shadow. My hero choices were an Exalted Hero, Tardum, the Herald of Tzeentch. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch, he's my BSB, he's got a Great Weapon, Demonic Mount, Talisman of Preservation, Iron Curse Icon, Third Eye of Tzeentch, and Poisonous Slime. And he's also on Strike 1. My Chaos Sorcerer was my final hero choice, Fume the Flame Warper. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch, he's level 2 wizard, he's on a Demonic Mount, which I love. He's got the Enchanted Shield, Talisman of Endurance, Chalice of Chaos, and Lore Tzeentch, because I really do like the Lore Tzeentch. My core choices were 2 units of Naked Warhounds, a unit of 19 Chaos Warriors, the Jade Shards, with the Mark of Tzeentch, Full Command, Hand Weapon Shield, and the Gleaming Pendant, 1 use BSB, and 3 Chariots. Vessel of Change was Mark Tzeentch, Rock and Roll was Mark Korn, and Lady Elizabeth was Mark Slanesh. My special choices consisted of my 5 Chaos Knights, with the Mark of Tzeentch, Banner Musician, Ensorcelled Weapons, and Standard of Discipline. My rare choices were my 3 Skull Crushers with Banner Musician, Lances, Banner of Eternal Flame, my Hell Cannon, and last but not least, the Mutalith Vortex. Not very holiday-ish, but I still love my beast. My opponent's list, also from memory, I apologize, I forgot to take a picture of his list. was his Demon Prince. I believe he was Mark Nurgle, even though he was painted like corn. You can't really fault him for it in tournament settings, I guess. But he had Chaos Armor with Wings, Dragon Helm, Sword of Striking, Soul Feeder, and Scaled Skin. I think if he had other stuff, I don't remember. He had a Sorcerer Lord with the Mark of Tzeentch, level 4 Wizard, on a Disc of Tzeentch, Talisman of Preservation, Third Eye of Tzeentch, Enchanted Shield, and Laura Metal. His hero choices were an Exalted Hero on a Mark Tzeentch with Demonic Mount that was barded. Sorry about that. My microphone just cut out. He was on a Demonic Mount that was barded. Uses BSB, had a Great Weapon, Armor of Destiny, and Poisonous Slime. His core choices were a unit of 5 Warhounds, a unit of 18 Chaos Warriors of the Mark Corn, Band of Musician, Halberd Shields, Banner of Swiftness, and another unit of 18 Chaos Warriors of the Mark Corn, Banner of Musician, Halberds, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. His special choices consisted of a Gorebeast Chariot with the Mark of Nurgle, which is kind of cool because I don't really see those in my meta all that often. A unit of 7 Chaos Knights with the Mark of Nurgle, full command and ensorcelled weapons. And his rare choices were a unit of 4 Skull Crushers with a Band of Musician, ensorcelled weapons, and a Razor Standard, and 2 Hell Cannons. That's right, 2. Here are my spells. Once again, I'm forgetting that my damn Sorcerer is a level 4. So 3 from Shadow and 3 from Tzeentch. And of course the Beast. And here are his spells. 4 from Laura Metal. Here's deployment, and as you can see, he kind of center masses everything because the 3 big looking rock things are all impassable terrain. We have the one hill on the middle right there, and the second one where his Hellcannons are perched on the far end there. Meanwhile, he's got his knights and his warhounds on his right flank, my left, just to harass, I guess, try to run around. Here's my opponent's right flank. There's his Warhounds and his 7 Nurgle Knights. You can barely see it, but in the center right of this picture is his Sorcerer Lord on a disc. Here's my opponent's center from left to right. There's his Gorebeast Chariot, his unit of 4 Skull Crushers. One's invisible, that's why you can't see it. His Demon Prince, his Exalted Hero BSB on a Demonic Mount is that Slaneshi looking guy. He's actually Mark Tzeentch, I think. On the hill, those are his 2 conversions for Hell Cannons. And his left flank consisted of both of his unit of Corn Warriors with Halberds. Here's my right flank. There's my 5 Knights on the right, my Chaos Sorcerer Caster on a Demonic Mount right next to them, a unit of 5 Warhounds, and of course my Demon Prince on the left there. Here's my center. There's my Chaos Warriors with the Jade Mage inside, my BSB, who's on strike 1. Right next to him are my Naked Dogs. Behind them are my Skull Crushers. The Beast next to them with my Tzeentch Chariot and my Hell Cannon. And my left flank consisted of my Khorne and Slanesh Chariots. So, here's top of 1 after movement, and as always, I didn't get to go first. And he kind of surges forward into the bottlenecks. This Hell Cannon right here did fail his rampage check and came forward about an inch or 2 because he stopped as soon as he hit one of his own units. During his magic phase, I let Plague of Rust go off on them because I had to stop other things, and if those guys got into combat, I had done something wrong. However, as you can see, during his shooting phase, the 1 Hell Cannon that could shoot fired at my Demon Prince, hit him, wounded, or hit him, and I roll a 1 for my Charm Shield. Wounds, because it was strength 10, I fail my ward save, and he does exactly 4 wounds. Top of turn 1, his Sniper Hell Cannon got past my Charm Shield, past my ward save, past 4 wounds. Kills my Demon Prince flat out, top of turn 1. Un-effing believable. And it gets better because my Warhounds then panic. They flee through my Chaos Sorcerer, who also panics. And as you can see from the picture, yes, I panic 12 inches with him. And the corner ends up just off the table. You can see right where he ended up in the picture. He actually did run through my knights. Thank God my knights passed their panic check. But my demon prince, my dogs, because they don't rally, I'll let you know right now, and my chaos sorcerer flee off the table top of turn 1 because of a beautiful panic domino effect. I was devastated. So here's bottom of 1 after movement, and I just go forward. I'm like, whatever. I'm not destined to win this one. So I'm going to kill as many of his things as I possibly can. I did not go after his warhounds on the left side because it just seemed like a trap with his knights. Meanwhile, my Mutalith and my Tzeentch Chariot move up to get ready to go after a Skullcrusher, whatever comes in the bottleneck. My BSB runs up because he's daring somebody to give him a shot. Because I couldn't see his Demon Prince, or I probably would have tried to charge. Meanwhile, the Skullcrushers and the Warriors hang back to see what happens, and the Knights go around the right flank to try to get a shot off at one of his Corn Warriors. I get Enfeebling Foe off on his Demon Prince. And then we go to top of 2 after movement, because my guy just misses. My Hell Cannon misses when he shoots. He hits exactly the wrongest part of the damn table. So during top of 2, his Skull Crushers charge my BSB and make it no problem. His Demon Prince flies over the impassable terrain to harass my warriors, and his Corn Warriors go to meet my knights. Other than that, I think his Nurgle Warriors move up a little bit, and that's about it. Here's a better picture of his Crushers hitting my BSB. During his magic phase, he gets the big Searing Doom off on my knights. I try to stop it, and I fail because the dice gods were mocking me. And it's the big Searing Doom. He does like 9 hits, 7 wound, and I don't make any of my ward saves. So all my knights are dead. There goes my entire right flank. Then he gets Enchanted Blades off on his Skull Crushers. My BSB doesn't do anything to these guys. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. He does 2 wounds to the Skull Crushers, but he takes a wound in return. Very frustrating because he's got a 3-up, 3-up, which was a 5-up, 3-up. Doesn't make. He gets 1 wound through on me, which is frustrating. Let's see, with Charge, Banner, wound to 2 wounds in Banner. He wins because he has a Musician. Thank God my BSB stays, though. So here's bottom of 2 after movement, and while I realize I don't want my BSB to fail me, I also realize that having 4 Skull Crushers in his face is a bit of a hassle, so I send my Chariot and my Mutalith into the flank of the Skull Crushers to do something, to help him out, try to get that combat res down, try to break him, at least make him lose Frenzy. With my dogs where they are and my piss poor positioning, when they fled from the Skull Crushers charge, they just kind of got in the way of my Skull Crushers, which sucked. But they stopped me from charging in my Skull Crushers, and my warriors turned to face his Demon Prince just to try to deal with him. Meanwhile, my Slaanesh Chariot charges the dogs, and my Corn Chariot charges the knights, which was nice. There's a better picture of my Mutalith and my Chariot trying to save my BSB because I didn't want to have to take him out of the list. Well, let me take that back. I didn't want to have to take him out of my list, but I really needed to be able to rely on him like I used to be able to, and he's really been failing me lately. So I threw in support trying to help him. Ooh, excuse me. And there's a better picture of my Slaanesh Chariot and my Corn Chariot going in there to make some friends. During the magic phase, the beast gets off his spell irresistibly on the sorcerer. It's a number 3 spell, and I end up doing, I think, 1 wound to him. And I raise his attacks by 1, but I lower his initiative by 1. So that was kind of fun. Over here in combat, my BSB dies. Doesn't break, doesn't lose combat. In fact, we win this. No, I don't know if I win this combat or not. But he does nothing. He does nothing because the 3 Skull Crushers into him are able to get the last 2 wounds through on him and kill his sorry ass. Because a 3-up ward save rerolling ones isn't good enough. They were able to do 3 wounds to him like he was a friggin' Marauder Horseman. And that was strike 2. That was almost strike 3. I was so fed up with him. Meanwhile, my Mutalith and Chariot combo were able to kill off one of the Skull Crushers. So with charge, flank, wound, I would have won had my flaming BSB not done so piss poor, because they did 3 wounds because they got 1 off on the chariot and 2 off on the BSB, and they have a banner. So they win the combat, but neither my chariot nor my muleth failed their panic or their break check. But oh, I'm getting really, really fed up with my BSB. Just talking about it, I'm starting to get that adrenaline rush of anger. You know what I mean? Ugh. On a positive note, though, my Slanesh chariot is able to easily run over the dogs. Roadkill. And he almost makes it into the Knights to help out my Corn chariot, who doesn't really do anything to the Knights. I don't think I kill any of them, to be honest with you. I can't remember. It doesn't look like it, because there's still 7 Knights there. I think I end up losing this combat, too, but somehow, thank God, I end up sticking it out. So we go to bottom of 3. And it's the worst parts of the Bible. I forgot to mention that after the Skullcrushers won that last combat, they turned to face the Mutilith and the Chariot, which is awesome. Meanwhile, his Demon Prince kind of fumbles over to harass the ass end of my Skullcrushers, and his Corn Warriors, now confused that the whole right flank is gone, they turn around and start looking for a friend. Oh yeah, and his Gorby's Chariot slams into the flank of my Mutilith, which is really bad. During his magic phase, he's able to get Searing Doom off on my Skullcrushers and does 4 more wounds. However, the resulting miscast 4, he takes another wound, he does not go into the warp, and he loses some dice, but it didn't matter, he was out anyway. Oh, no, wait, I apologize. He gets Final Transmutation off, or something. I can't remember. He gets something off on my... No. He gets his Hell Cannons. They both fire at my Tzeentch warriors, and they both hit, and that's the resulting leftovers. He does 3, 6, 7, 8 wounds or something like that. So 8 of my warriors died to the Hell Cannons. Not happy about that. Not happy about that at all. Luckily, they make their -1 break check. Here in combat, it's unfortunate, but with Skullcrushers to your front, and a Gorby's Chariot charging into your flank, they're able to kill my beast. I'm able to kill 1 more of his Skullcrushers. My Chariot takes a couple of wounds, breaks, but he gets away. Really frustrating, but I put this all solely at the feet of my BSB. There's no way that should have happened. It's just one of those things. It's really frustrating. In combat over here, my Corn Chariot fails me, doesn't do anything to the Knights. The Knights don't do anything to him. With the banner, they win by 1, and I flee, and I get away. However, the Knights are able to slam into the flank of my Slanesh Chariot, which sucks. But, so we go over here to the bottom of 3, and really there's not a whole lot left. My Skullcrushers tried a long distance. I need an 11 to hit you charge on his Sorcerer Lord on a disc, and I fail by like an inch. I rolled like a 10. I missed it by 1. My Hell Cannon passes his leadership check, but at this point I'm done with shooting, so I charge into the flank of the Skullcrushers, figuring maybe he can do something. And my warriors just kind of spin around to face his Demon Prince or whatever, because I realize I'm going to lose this game. So I'm just going to make it difficult for him to get all my points. That's all I can do. There's the better picture of the Hell Cannon slamming into the flank of the Skullcrushers. And there's the failed charge of the Skullcrushers right there. My Skullcrushers. During the magic phase, I get Occam's Mind Razor off on the Skullcrushers just in case his Demon Prince charges them in the rear. The resulting miscast 7 causes 2 more of my bunker to go into the warp, and that's fine. Everything else is going to be there. It's where their friends are. Right over here, the Skullcrushers, I don't do anything to them. Well, no, that might not be true. I think I might do a wound or 2 to him. I take a wound, but with charge, flank, and a wound or 2 to banner wound, I think I win by 1 or 2. He does end up breaking, but he gets away. He bounces through the impassable terrain, and I can't get a hold of him. However, my Hell Cannon does get a hold of his chariot, and so I feel pretty good about that. And over here, the Knights are able to chop up my Slanesh Chariot into tiny, tiny bits. And so we go to top of 4 after movement, and not a whole lot. Not a whole lot at all. His Demon Prince runs over and looks at my warriors, but he doesn't charge them. And other than that, everything just kind of repositions. Yeah, during combat, my Hell Cannon does like I think one wound to the Gorby's chariot, and that's it. He's just out of motivation. I win this combat, but he doesn't break. So we go to bottom of 4 after movement, and I think my Tzeentch chariot charges the knights. I think my Khorne chariot tried to charge the knights and failed. My Skull Crushers charge his BSB, and I believe that's about it. This one should be interesting because it's only 2 Skull Crushers against the BSB, but I'm very curious to see if his BSB is as sissified as mine is. Over here, I'm really hoping that I got a hold of his knights this time. I'm hoping that all of his good luck is gone, but I'm not sure. To give myself an unfair advantage against his BSB, I get Enfeebling Foe off on him, and I take 2 off of his strength. In combat, I'm able to take off 2 of his knights, and I take a wound for my trouble with charge and 2 wounds to wound banner. I win by 1. They don't break. Over here, yeah, nothing. I don't do enough wounds to him at all. In fact, I do no wounds to him. He's able to slip 1 through on me with charge and a banner to banner and a wound, where it's a stalemate. We just stand there and bark at each other. His BSB is already doing better than mine, and it's really frustrating. So, here's top of 5 after movement. And this is pretty much just him cleaning up. His warriors slam into the flank of my Skull Crushers. His Demon Prince slams into my warriors. The other unit of Khorne warriors are coming up to slam into the flank of my warriors. And whatever. There's a better picture of his Demon Prince just getting ready to monkey stomp my Chaos Warriors. And my Skull Crushers, who failed to kill his BSB, are being beat on by Khorne warriors, which is kind of suiting. During his magic phase, he gets Enchanted Blades off on him to make him extra killy. Over here, my chariot, I do a bunch of wounds to his knights. He makes all of his armor saves. I fail one of mine, and I die. They end up... no, I'm sorry. I don't fail any of my armor saves. I lose combat, and I break, and they overrun... and they pursue, and they catch him. And this picture right here shows where they end up in respect to my Khorne chariot, who's no longer frenzied, but he's still a chariot. My Skull Crushers, beyond any doubt, they just get destroyed in this one, and that's about par for this game. And over here, my unit champion takes a challenge and gets pulverized for it. We lose combat, but we're steadfast. So here's bottom of 5 after movement, and my Khorne chariot slams into the flank of the knights, who stand and take it, and that's it. That's really it. There's a better picture of the Khorne chariot slamming into the knights. During my magic phase, I get Enfeebling Foe off on his Demon Prince just so I can save some face. In combat, my Khorne chariot, unfrenzied, really pulls it out for me and kills all but one of the knights. And then the knights break, and since it was only the standard bearer left, they die, so I get the points for the knights. Woohoo! Over here, my Chaos Sorcerer Lord has no option but to issue a challenge, and Demon Prince has to accept it. He only does 1 wound to me. And that's with stomps and everything. He only does 1 wound to me, so that's friggin' outstanding. Very happy about that. I think we ended up losing this combat. I'm not 100%, but doesn't really matter either way because we don't go anywhere. So here's top of 6 after movement. And it's pretty much all over but the crying. His other unit of Khorne warriors slam into the flank of my Tzeentch warriors, which spells their end. And that's really about it. Oh yeah, I think his BSB slams into my Hell Cannon in the flank. So that's not good either. And one of his Hell Cannons fails his rampage again and charges in. There's a better picture of his Khorne warriors slamming into my Tzeentch warriors. We all know how that's going to go. And there's a picture of his BSB slamming into my Hell Cannon. And you know what? He's earned it, so he might as well just take it. This is the Hell Cannon at rampage, like 12 to 15 inches forward towards the closest enemy unit, so that was kind of cool. During this magic phase, he gets Irresistible Force off on Enchanted Blades on his BSB. The resulting 10 miscast, he loses 2 wizard levels, I believe. So he's a level 2 wizard now. Not a big deal. In combat, my Hell Cannon gets demolished. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He just gets destroyed. The resulting overrun, he ends up just missing my Corn Chariot, which is good because now I have an opportunity. And over here, the Corn Warriors and the Demon Prince. I think the Demon Prince is able to kill my Sorcerer Lord, and the Skull. Or, I'm sorry, the Corn Warriors. I think they're able to kill a few more of my guys, 2 maybe. But with all the combat res, I flee and or I break and I flee and I go an inch and I'm off the table. So here's bottom of 6. I forgot to take a picture. I was dying on the inside. And honestly, I just completely forgot. I was in damage control mode so strongly. I just forgot that there was a camera hanging around my neck. So you get to face this picture of an oops and a apology. I'm sorry. However, the picture I did remember to take was my Corn Chariot not able to win combat against his Gorby's Chariot. I charge. I take a wound. I think. Maybe a wound. I don't remember. Something happens, and his Gorby's Chariot is able to kill my Corn Chariot, so that worked out great. And that's pretty much the end of the game right there. As you can see, I have a unit of dogs left, and that's it. So, yay? I'd like to believe that the dogs were accepted into his army after the battle was over, and so a little bit of Tremendous is still alive. Because God knows this game went so horribly for me. What could you do? But we'll get to the recap in a minute, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Tokens, fellas. Tokens. Wound counters, augment markers, hex markers, every status, ailment, and effect you can think of, from not being able to move to the lore attributes to the lore hexes and bonuses that they provide. Everything that you can think of that you could need a marker for, that we use dice for. Token Grail makes the tokens. Send her an email, tell her what you need. Any gaming system, from Magic the Gathering to Infinity to Malifaux to 40k to Fantasy, whatever you need tokens for, she will make them, and they come out they're flawless. Look at them. They're the glass beads. They magnify the words in the picture, so they're really easy to see from the tabletop and everything like that. They're a lot more accurate than dice, and they're dirt cheap, guys. She sells them for less than $10 a kit. Dirt cheap prices, solid gold quality. Totally worth it. Send her an email, get yourself some tokens. The only request that I make is that if you are overseas, if you're outside of America, before you send her an email, you have to understand that shipping prices are through the roof. So as long as you're okay with paying like $30+ shipping fees, don't send her an email, because it's just going to waste both your times. But if you are in America or you don't mind high shipping fees, then by all means send her an email, get yourself some tokens. Totally worth it. So yeah, after all this dust settled, we totaled up the points, and I got slaughtered. Massacred isn't a strong enough word for the ass pounding I took. 405 points is what I got to his 3,220 that he just took from me. Woo! I haven't been destroyed like that since about a week ago, something like that. Yeah. But I ended up losing everything. Even though the dogs still on the table, to hell with them. It was 30 points. I lost everything. My opponent lost his unit of knights and a unit of warhounds. That's it. That's all I could do to him. I lost everything and took from him damn near nothing. I mean, oh my effing god, I must have pissed off the dark gods. I don't know what happened there, but I was out of favor, and apparently that happens a lot. I don't know. My right flank crumbling in the top of one was awful. Awful. I mean, talk about being put on your ass. Jeez. I was a perfect sphere. My head was so far up my butt after turn one. I had no idea what to do. The Hell Cannon getting past my Charm Shield, my Ward Save, and doing 4 wounds of my Demon Prince. Top of 1, causing the Warhounds and the Chaos Sorcerer to flee off the table. What the actual fudge? Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. That was... Well, actually, if it happened to my opponent or something like that, I'd be thrilled. But since it happened to me, it's just cheese. No, I'm kidding. it was legit. It was a good shot. What can I do? My opponent capitalized on a beautiful shooting. Then my knight's getting Searing Doomed off the table, the big Searing Doom, no less. What can you do? As for my BSB, 2 games, he's now on strike 2. I'm really getting tired of my sorry ass BSB. My opponent's BSB, without rerolls, was able to weather 12 attacks, all strength 6, from charging Skull Crushers, no problem. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Just couldn't do anything right in this game. But in all fairness, this opponent owed me a tabling in the last tournament I faced him. I tabled him. So I guess what goes around comes around. So it all worked out in the end. But a good game. It was a fun opponent, and I'm looking forward to Game 3. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for Battle Report number 72. I hope you guys are enjoying them as much as I still am. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.